This is the new facelift of the Mercedes V-Class. We will start here with the front. You get optional LED headlamps, also with the daytime running light. And this one here is the new AMG line. The AMG line has been there before, but it now features a new front grille with this diamond pin grille, so moves more towards the normal passenger car design for sure. The Mercedes Star also gets, behind those fields here, there are some sensors hidden because it also features now optional and emergency braking assist. Only optional or included then in the ACC, the Adaptive Cruise Control package. So basically there are three different lengths available for the V-Class. It's 4.89 meters, 5.14 meters or 5.37 meters, or that would be 192 inches, 202 inches or 211 inches. And this one here is the middle size, 4.14 meters or 202 inches. And basically the first two lengths, they have the same wheelbase. It's just that this one here, as this is the middle size, is a little bit longer right here. So it's just right here, like this part. And then the third, the real long V-Class, that one has another longer part right here, because that one then also has an increased wheelbase. The wheels, they come with 17 to 19 inch. Those ones here are also the AMG style rims in the biggest size. Of course, they look pretty massive. The rear is characterized by this big glass panel and a lot of chrome use here, and also lower part. Why this big glass panel? Well, you can open this one here separately to put in and out smaller things, for example. There's also, separate cover here available. We will soon experience more of this loading capacity in all of the interior part. Next to the AMG line, the other lines are called Avantgarde and Exclusive, with more elegance and less sportiness. But of course, considering it is a van, it already has somewhat a sporty styling for sure. Also, for example, with this symmetry line here right on the hood. I will soon also show you which new colors are available for this V-Class facelift. And by the way, some more addition to the drivetrains. All of those new diesel engines here, they're both available with rear-wheel drive standard and optional with all-wheel drive. And another look for you how this graphite gray looks from the rear perspective. Interesting also, I think that those tail lamps have this LED signature as well that makes it in a more modern appearance. And now to my favorite for today, a van with hydraulic struts here for the engine compartment. Yay! So, engine-wise, those ones here are actually the big news, because again, the schematic that they want to move this van here closer to the normal passenger cars is continued by the engine choices. This is the 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel that is also used in the Mercedes E-Class with the SCR cleaning. And in the whole diesel discussion, this one here kind of stood out because in real life, exhaust fume test, this one here had really less particles than anything else that was tested. So indeed, if you talk about clean diesels, this one is probably the one that comes closest to it. This one here, as I said, first time being used then in the V-Class, updated, so from the whole engine lineup. Supposed to have less vibrations and also better insulate from the cabin than the diesels that have been used before. As I said, 2-liter of displacement, 4 cylinders. Comes so far then in 2 horsepower specs, either as a V250D with 190 horsepower, or then the new one, the V300D with 240 horsepower. Never been so strong so far. 500 Newton meters of torque maximum, 7.9 seconds acceleration to 100 kilometers or 62 miles. Let's start with the interior of this AMG line. Let's check the door closing sound. Not too bad, but I've heard better as well. You see the door does not open too wide, but still, of course, it's a big entry. That's totally fine. Big inside the door pockets also for bigger bottles. And like with the Mercedes passenger cars, you can also change the seats from here. That comes quite handy when you're sitting. And have the door closed. Seat heating, seat cooling is available. That, of course, just in the top trim. You can see the cockpit layout since the all-new generation came out. And you have an upright seating position, good view throughout this panoramic windshield. So this is a great travel position. And due to the windows being very much upright, you still, although you're driving a big vehicle, have a quite good overview of what's going on around you. Seating position, as I said, is upright and very comfortable. The seats also suit taller people, that's no problem. Although you can see it could be a little bit longer, but again, due to this upright seating position, you can always find a good position for any size. This is the interior overview. You can see those sensual lines. The design scheme here by Mercedes was called Sensual Purity because they're also overlapping some gaps right there. Here again, you can see that also in the middle, those new turbine vents have been installed. This is the main new design feature. Instruments, quite classic still. Left side speed, right side RPM in the middle part. You have the view, for example, for the digital speedometer or for the consumption. Taking a closer look at this infotainment screen, the map view is actually quite nice and see also responsive. There's no touchscreen yet available, so you have to do it all with the central controller. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This system has not been updated, so it's not available. So you have to connect your phone via Bluetooth. The climate unit is still manual. That's good also to do while driving. There's still a CD slot also if you want better audio quality. And if you still have CDs and some hotkeys for the GPS, for example, then this lower area, again, with the turning and pressing knob, or you can also press here or swipe like this in the menu. So the rest of the lower middle console right there, we have two adaptive cup holders here in the front, like this, and then we have a middle armrest with a split opening, also with a leatherette cover. And inside here you have two more USB supplies. Well, two more. Those ones are the two USB supplies, but again, no connection to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And this one here is a cooling box. This vehicle here is equipped with two electric doors. And you can see here, when you just use the handle, it opens like this, and then I'll go around the vehicle and do it from the other side. And also the driver in the front, as I showed you, the buttons can do that. But also when you sit here, you just use the handle, then you can close it. This would be the other alternative, press this button here. So different solutions to open and close the doors, and it's actually a quite easy solution. So here in the first row, for all over the vehicle, you can get those two single seats. The standard setup would be 2-2-2. So you fold the seat like this, then I can also get easier into the rear position like this, and you can see even here enough legroom. Then I showed you earlier how you can have this separate opening for the glass part. This one here also available all electric, the big hatch. And then you have also several options. For example, this one has, for the separate opening, this split part and with some shopping bags. And thinking about rain, and also with a little thought to the Marco Polo version already, you can see with 1.86 m or 6'1", I can stand under this hatch. And this vehicle is equipped with the new luxury seat option. First of all, it looks a little bit like an airplane seat or something. Then you can also change it right here from the back angle, and let's see how far that goes in the back overall. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Yeah, it takes a while, of course, with the electric seat, but that goes actually quite far. And then there's also the clue of the seat, that you can fold out the lower area, the lower foot area, like this. Let's see, like this. This is an easy solution here with the manual, here with this manual lever, like this. And then it also fits for me. You can have some nice brakes here. The only thing is, like your feet are flying in the air now a little bit, of course, but they have some support here. So if you have some shorter legs, it will be like this. This is more comfortable. So indeed, this one here Again, some disadvantage if you have very, very long legs. Maybe you have to put, like your cooling box there, or maybe some pillows that your feet can also rest on something. And now to our conclusion for today with the Mercedes V-Class facelift. The main thing for me is for sure the new engine layout or new engine setup with this new diesel that is supposed to be quite fuel efficient if you also compare it to the passenger car variant. And this whole scheme that they want to move the V-Class even more to the passenger compartment, even closer, as for technology and also as for the build quality and for the interior and so on. And this diesel also in the real life test was actually quite clean. So for long-term run, for big vehicles, this still seems to be a quite good solution. Exterior-wise, I think this one is still the design van. So in this very segment, it's the most design features, both on the exterior and on the interior for sure. You get some more decor elements here, for example, those turbine-style vents. This is also quite nicely done. However, a little bit disappointing that they didn't update the infotainment system, especially, I would like to have seen a combination of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in there. This is really disappointing. I can understand that they didn't put the MBUX in there because they need a different platform for that. That will be then delivered with the all-new Mercedes V-Class. But some infotainment system updates would surely be necessary. As for the rest of the interior, a top-notch build quality. That is, of course, even more important in this segment to have a differentiation to the competitors. Interesting also with this new luxury seat setup. This is a good option for VIP shuttles or, for example, or if you use this one here as an executive car instead of a sedan. But then again, the price. It's such an expensive vehicle. This is actually the biggest drawback of this V-Class. And of course, this won't change with the facelift.